welcome back. In this video, um, we are talking about how we can use a plugin for Collab Edit, Google BigQuery, Databricks, and Databricks and Jupyter Notebooks, similar to GitHub Copilot. So GitHub Copilot would work for you in your Visual Studio, but it won't work for you in your browser. So how if we need a similar functionality like GitHub Copilot for our Jupyter Notebooks, Databricks, or Google Colab, then we use CodeSquire.ai. So in CodeSquire.ai, you just come here, click on download Chrome extension, and just install this extension in Chrome. And after we do that, you just have to sign in here once, and that's it. Or if you have an existing account with Google, you could just go ahead and sign in with Google, and that should cover it. Okay, so this is now active, and basically with once you do this, you activate ChatGPT in your Jupyter notebook and highlight the code you want to ask or press, and all we have to do is press Control or Command K. So this depends on which platform you are. So in Windows, I tried Command K, it worked. Control K also worked. I haven't tried it on Mac or Linux, which one would work there. So this one is primarily targeted at that. And let's go and look at an example here. So I have written so we will be looking at two examples. So in the first example, we have the code, and we have the function name, and we have what we want. Now let's try to see if we can get the code. So I copied this function here, and now let me do Control K. So just a minute. So Command K. So I think it is okay, so maybe I have to restart my browser. So let me copy paste this examples in my notebook. Just a minute. So let me copy paste this example 1, and I copy pasted this example 2. So, and let me close my browser. Okay, and let me go to Chrome and click on new window, and let me go to a Jupyter note. Let me go to a Google Colab. Okay, so if I go to Google Colab, and okay, I'm just going back to the example which we had open. Okay, so now you see this icon here. So we now have the plugin installed, and now let's go and just check this. So I'm just clicking on this, and if you click on this, Control K, no, I think you just need to click on this and select this function and click on this and copy paste this. So it will give us the complete function. So this one basically is like a chat GPT for your Google Colab. And here I'm just copy pasting this here, and that's it. So you can just copy paste this into here, and if you run the function, it works fine. And we now have the code, and what does this function do, right? So we want to see what does this function do. So I'm just copy pasting this, and let's do Command K. No, let's do no, wait. So let's copy paste this code and ask what does this function do. So this code appears to upload a bucket to, so it basically gives you the functionality what this does. So the advantage of this is whenever you are working with legacy code, in many companies you always have legacy code. So not all programmers should have written documentation for that code. So if you are relatively new to that code, you can just copy paste, ask and get information from that here. But these are not the only use case. There are more use cases than this. So CodeSquire.ai will help you to across a variety of scenarios. One is from text, you can get the code. Here we'll just run it, so it gives us the code here. And the second one is we have already saw turn comments to code, it works. And the next is write functions using well-known libraries and translate language into SQL queries. We can do that too. Explains the code. We saw that example now. And we can also write complex functions here. So if I just type all that here, and if you type all this here and click pass that as a parameter, it would give you each of that step in code to you. And you can also write unit test cases and other stuff. And the questions you need to know is like I mentioned, why we need CodeSquire instead of GitHub Copilot. It works in places where GitHub Copilot does not. And these are the 4 additional places where you can use it, where GitHub Copilot can't be used. And one more thing to note here, we are not entering our OpenAI key here. So your credits are not being used. So that's all I wanted to mention. And thank you for joining.